afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast from your host, ImperialDane, the one, the only master of propaganda. We're off here to a riveting and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, ImperialDane, the one, the only master of propaganda here on Lost Glider, where the glider is truly lost. In the north, it's the ImperialDane himself, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, the Panzergruppe von Strachwitz here with Osttruppen Doctrine. In the south, it is Rotmisterz, Pilecki fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin, the 2nd Guards Mechanized Corps here with counterattack. Guard Motor and airborne troops here, featuring double infantry mines, I've got Stormtrooper Stuke and Panzergrenadier bulletins. But also here featuring, well, Osttruppen, entrenching tools, the artillery field officer, supply drops, and railway artillery support there upon east and eastwards here. Osttruppen MD4 sitting out here, going for a triple Osttruppen MD4 2 start there, that way fast getting out the amount of infantry you want as the Wehrmacht, which is typically sort of 2 to 3 squads, so 3 is better. And then, you know, sort of moving out rapidly with the Osttruppen, you basically sort of get around the fact you have to build the infantry company, which is typically one of like the downsides of the Wehrmacht. You have to build a build before you can get up basic infantry, usually your troops hit slower than the others, and that's usually one of the things that can sort of leave the Wehrmacht weaker in the early game, is just slower infantry in terms of mobility. And again, Pilecki has to like get into good position first, like they tend to suck out of cover, so rushing at Osttruppen can sort of help overcome that a bit. Then, of course, they just get out troops fast in the field here. So quickly seizing points here, moving towards the centre, grabbing eastern field points, seizing the southeastern victory point. As you can see, them going for a very aggressive spread here. Machine moving up, using the Pioneers to spark. In fact, I can surprise Rotmisterz conscript squad here by the eastern victory point and suppress that pretty fast. And a quick note there, as always, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and press that bell button. Would make me very happy. Also, a big thanks to my Patreon supporters, without which this episode and something else would not be possible. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon or donating. Anyway, so that message out of the way. Machine Rep supported the Pioneers. Again, Pioneer MD4 2 works quite well together. 3rd Osttruppen squad out here, going to move out to support the east side. That's the other Osttruppen fighting here, west and centre. Caught here in the centre by the front big squad here, east side. Pioneers moving ahead undercover the MD4 2, hoping to suppress them, since it looks like they should be able to get suppressed. And there you go. Moving in to finish that up. Bit of scrum between Osttruppen versus conscripts. Other Osttruppen squad from the north. 4th conscript on the way there for Rotmisterz. And down here, the conscripts are getting bled out here by the MD42 Pioneer combo. So far, very aggressive start here from me. Going for tech here as well. Going to try and push my advantage as fast as possible, which is usually what I want to do to the Wehrmacht. Like, again, the idea on paper is the Wehrmacht is a late game defensive factor, but really you want to get in aggressively in the early game, gain yourself an advantage. You have to have something to defend, because otherwise the whole defense stuff strategy works out terribly. We got Osttruppen as the conscript, 2 squads versus 1. We got more troops moving in, they may not survive. Osttruppen up here, moving 240 in here, occupying them, moving with the Pioneers down to grab the southern point. And so as I'm done here, in fact I switch towards the western field point, disrupting here, or at least attempting to disrupt Rotmisterz early game. Pilecki's. Tech done. And there you go, MD4 casting the conscripts again. I suspect here the aggressive machine gun movements I'm using is basically surprising Pilecki here, because most Wehrmacht players typically tend not to be using the machine guns that actively. But again, active and aggressive MD42 usage I find is crucial as the Wehrmacht to, like, you know, gain any advantages. Almost got the western field point here. Pilecki moving back engineers to harass behind the lines. Good move there. It's not really going to be used to fight them anyway, so disrupting my economy is not a bad idea. We got flame for up as well. I'm going for Panzergrenadier because, well, my Pioneers are basically at the front line. Also laying down some termines here already early on. Never hurts to get those down. Panzer squad there is almost done, which will probably inadvertently help me around my carve point. Just digging in here, using the entrenching tools to lay down sandbags with my Osttruppen. We got conscripts being slowly bled out with the Osttruppen and the MD42. Pioneers retreating. Carve point being hit by the flamethrower engineers. And we got a big push here by Pilecki, and my Osttruppen simply cannot hold, but even then, the damage has been done. Pilecki is being denied fuel. And of course, while he's trying to go here for, in this case, holding these set of points here, I don't actually need the carve point. Of course, I still need to hold these points, otherwise I will be cut off. So in this regard, having also the aggressive opening here does actually make me slightly less susceptible to a cut-off point maneuver there. Machine there, pushing towards the centre, constantly in there. Got the Osttruppen here, they could of course go for the carve point there, further disrupting Pilecki's early fuel. Got the carve point here, back here reinforcement. Like to make a nice company up. And then go MD4 to catch the conscripts as I realise where they're going. My machine gets back in action against the Bolsheviks here, who are quickly moving out around the Osttruppen in the building. Panzer squad bringing in, there you go. Pilecki's Frontovic's going to catch or get caught here by the Panzergrenadier. I'd like to make a nice company, almost done for me. Quickly engaging up here, 1-1. Panzer these easily beat conscripts in most situations. There you go, routed. Support company up there for Pilecki, very good. And no sign of doctrine there for Pilecki, but he sort of managed to stabilize a bit there after my aggressive early push. Thumbs up there to Pilecki. Got another engineer squad out there, obviously. And I'm going for 251 Mittelschützen Panzerwagen to help support my troops, giving more frontline presence, and also, of course, giving more mobility, allowing me to further react and act as I please. Again, mobility I find is very crucial here in kind of these 2 1v1 matches, and if you can dictate the flow of the battle, you tend to have a significant advantage. Got also miss the conscripts, and again, it's one of the reasons why Osttruppen are so great in the early game. They actually give the Wehrmacht initiative, which is usually what it lacks, due to, again, having to others build an infantry company and then get out grenadiers. But there you go, 250 half out there. The Mittelschützen Panzerwagen. Seizing the point here with the Frontovics. Heading westwards. Gonna pop in some troops here. Mobilize them, or mechanize them if you want. Back here to reinforcing as well. Also, of course, going to reinforce incredibly swiftly. Got the Panzers waiting about, looking to link up with the 250 half. Got to push in the south. Minesweeper spot the Telemine, clear it out. Good work there by Pilecki. Obviously, assuming I'm going to be laying down Telemines is a smart move there by Pilecki. Don't underestimate your opponent's capacity to lay down mines aggressively, particularly if they're already playing aggressively. Aggressive mines is all something to be expected. I'll wait, troops that routed. Machine gun has for now fallen back here towards the fuel point. Since I'm finding myself preoccupied with these forces, I want to keep my fuel point at least somewhat secure. But there you go, conscripts routed. Panzer into these half-tank moving ahead here aggressively. Going to push for the fuel point once more. Mines down here, good spot by Pilecki. Thumbs up, sandbags in the center as well. Half-tank rushing straight for the fuel point. Panzer's grabbing points up north. Back here, nothing going for Pilecki, though we got the anti-tank grenades and the field infirmary ready. Oh, he didn't finish the support company. Oh dear, he's really finishing that now. Good work there. A little bit awkward when it happens. Meanwhile, I'm moving about here, laying down more Telemines, because why not? Ground the point, calling an artillery field officer, who's a nice, great addition. Also a nice assault team, though not quite Panzer Grenadier level, but close. Plus, of course, he has plenty of abilities that are great for supporting your troops. So he's a very nice element there, and definitely one of the primary reasons I prefer using Osttruppen Doctrine over Encirclement. Ground Western Point there, Pilecki rushing for the tank chain command. Very good. Fast C-70 here would be quite good. In fact, worth noting, I have no anti-tank guns because I'm thinking, yeah, I can probably get away with it. Again, with the fuel harassment, I'm fairly certain in terms of timings that, you know, he's not going to be able to get me with a T-70 around this timing. At least have a minute or two more, which could theoretically even allow me to push for medium armor. That's going to be risky, though, of course. That's also the reason I've been laying down Telemines. Again, in theory, like, you know, in case this backfires, at least on paper, I've got the Telemines, of course, already cleared out one, so already there on paper highlights, you know, how much paper is actually worth when it comes to these things. So I was planning to start the half track. No tech yet. Of course, I could also, actually I can't because I only have 3 command points. And it's 74 to round the country to try to go for the fuel point there. Not a bad move by Pilecki. We got mines around his carve point. Also good move there. Of course, spots my S mines here inadvertently. Of course, that tells me he's got a minesweeper. Much to my annoyance. After that west side there. There we go. Officer supports the attack using both diversion and inspiring aura, which diversion buffs himself, and then inspiring aura buffs nearby troops. So using both basically means everyone there gets buffed. So there you go, engineers. Conscript routed, carve point being hit there. Half to background points. Got the western fuel point there. Pilecki's not far from the T-70 light tank, and that's going to be quite impactful since, again, currently I have no anti-tank weapons at all. In fact, I am rushing straight ahead for medium armor. A pretty risky maneuver at this point, since the T-70 can quickly swing the game back in the favor of Soviets if I have no anti-tank weapons. So I'm honestly really overreaching here, and I really shouldn't be. But it's also moving about here. Retreating officer doing what he can. 2 kills, playing for a pioneer supporting as well here. Half time moving about. Need to be careful with it though. Comes to taking heavy damage and almost taking out. We got flame for units moving up here. This far east. We got movement there going on. Grabbing points. Very good there by Pilecki. Thumbs up. And there you go, another diversion and another inspiring aura here from the officer. Kind of expensive with 50 missions solely for using both abilities, but you know, can be worth. And there you go, Pilecki's advances once more thrown into a bit of disarray. Very nice to see there, for me at least. Of course, for Pilecki, less great. But now, Pilecki's revenge is about to hit me. Because again, like an utter patch, I got caught up in all the excitement and didn't get any anti-tank weapons. Because again, I'm going to push for medium armor really fast, obviously. And certainly 10-minute T7 is rather late, but even then, in the time I get any kind of armor, the T7 can still do a ton of damage to me. So, bit of an overreach here to put it very mildly, and I probably should just pop the supply drop at some point when I could have gotten at least a pack 40 out that way. Oh, the T7 roaming about. Of course, he's careful not to like push too far ahead. They risk getting panzer-fasted or even hitting a Stalemate he's not seen. So thumbs up there to Pilecki. Certainly some players can end up losing situations like that. Also worth noting, back to going for machine gun bunker around the fuel point. Need to keep it up his hands further and force him to like divert more forces to get the fuel point back, which gives me a further fuel advantage, which is always a fun as the Wehrmacht incredibly crucial, just building up a fuel advantage over the opponent and buying time for you pushing a medium armor advantage. So there you go, machine gun bunker with Osttruppen. Panzers are coming in the flank for now, T7 moving up. And while of course it can deal with a bunker even for that one, it's going to take some time, which again means the field point is going to be something on the theory out of hand. There you go, the sandbags in this case actually biting in the arse and preventing me from actually sort of suppressing them, pinning them down fast. Not so great there by me, not so great. And it's half to the rushing hit with Austin maybe 4-2 in it. Austin flak panzer away for me to counter the T7 and put pressure on Pilecki's infantry as well. Pilecki will need some anti-tank guns for that. Panzer squad even needs them up on the flank. Counter suppressed, they almost got the fuel point there. Will they get pinned? Panzer drone fire from the machine gun bunker. Looks like not, and then the machine gun bunker I guess just didn't do as much as it could have due to the sandbags. So, you know, in these cases, I should have paid attention to that. Obviously just figured that's not going to work out then, but meh. Sometimes you got to try things out, I guess, to figure it out. Anyways, flak pan's almost down there for me and for the German army half-track unit repairs. Meanwhile, though, Pilecki's been able to take advantage of all the chaos, the havoc to push ahead here. Good work there by Pilecki, and again, Harley's just quickly thinking fall apart for the Wehrmacht. I mean, sure, when you're in control, great, but as soon as things get slightly out of control, the thing can very quickly turn against you. I got the flak pans here to hopefully turn things in control of me in my favour again. After the unit repairs, T7 moving up there. Bit of maneuvering in the southeast, contra Leeson victory point. There we go, Sicily Division feeling away for Pilecki, of course. He's figuring he's probably getting hit by some armor soon, and that is very much the case here. Austrian flag pumping rushed here by the Panzergruppe von Strachwitz to tear apart this foul Soviet invention. And down it goes. And then while it certainly had an impact, its overall lifespan was rather limited. The Ostwind saw to that. Obviously, it was the conscripts in the south, usually the officers soon done popping diversion to at least boost them a bit. They give them more time for the Austrians to arrive. Obviously, while they're retreating, as realised that's probably not going to work out after all. Austrian in the centre, I'm going to end up forgetting get killed. As I move down the flak pants here, hitting a mine as well. Good mine by there by Pilecki, thumbs up. And of course, I realised A, I need more pioneers, and B, I need minesweepers of my own. Close range one on the flak panzer. Got the Panzer Squad nearby, with 3 veterans one a bit hard to kill, plus they move faster. Contrary on this, the Flak Panzer Squad, they're not a great position to be in. There you go, they do get off an anti-tank grenade, and I go for down the Panzer Grenadier Squad to replace the Austrian wipe lost there, because unless you're absolutely short in infantry, you're better off going for Panzer Grenadiers to replace your Austrian. Because again, the Austrian just don't scale well. So if you're going for Austrian, it's because you absolutely just need something to grab a point with, not because you actually need a combat infantry squad. To suppress the Blade 42 pioneers being used to prepare the Austrian Flak Panzer. More Panzer Grenadiers, they're almost done. Should rush the half-deck down into the squad here and get them healed up inside. Trying to re-establish a fresh line of defense here against Pilecki after again he managed to turn the entire thing around. Again, highlights how disruptive the T7 can be, and probably shouldn't have built that machine gun bunker again, but there you go. Panzer Squad, they're retreating. Obviously good to go there. Very, very, very close to the machine that's caught in a bit of a bad spot there. Had an attack moving, and it decided to just, well, even angle itself awkwardly, but that's that. Up north, Panzer Squad are going for the Engineer Squad there under Pilecki's command. Artillery fire going from the field gun. Then an aggressive setup with the field gun there, to be honest. Officer wing head, he backed up at the half-tech. Austrian support there as well. Got diversion on them. Of course, with this, I realised where the field gun is, and I get a very aggressive plan to just rush the field gun, since on its own, the field gun is actually quite vulnerable to something like an Ostwind. And we got calling smoke on the machine in the south. Flak Panzer moving in there. Austrian supporting as well. Half-tech hanging back here. Moving the Panzer up north. flanking the conscripts here, making use of the building to make it harder for the field gun to open up on it, and of course increasing my chance of maybe getting a wipe as well. Down to just 3 men. Flak Panther with 2 killed veterans who 1. Incredibly close to wipe there, more infantry moving in there. Almost got it, but the last man gets away. Also need to fall back here soon. Officer meanwhile going for the machine gun, calling artillery on the building here as well. An intense serious engagement breaks out here in the south here as I just try to get some kills in there on Pilecki, maybe get rid of the field gun. Officer forced to retreat, artillery firing down the building. And the Osttruppen disengages, heavily damaged, but with 7 kills, half HP 2. Need to get some troops down there. Also forgot I maybe could have rushed something down there with a half-track to further assist. As I over-focused here. Field gun going up there, Pioneers nearby. Calling in smoke here as well to further just try and cut up the retreat here. Again, officers' smoke is incredibly good. And again, one reason why I do despair so much when people go for the Osttruppen and then use the officer, because that smoke is great, just worth it alone almost on the officer, for the officer. Meanwhile, punch moving westwards here, hitting a mine. Troops are getting ready up north. Half-tech hanging back there, but I could lay down mines. But there's a lot there, and basically missing out by not using the half-tech properly. Osttruppen pursued by conscripts. Other Osttruppen squad going for the field gun. There we go, rushing them down there into the half-tech and rush them down here to assist the Flak Panzer, which I'm trying to keep clear of the field gun fervently and desperately. Meanwhile, rushing the rest of my troops here as well. Then I move right in front of the field gun like an idiot. And I lose the Flak Panzer. Like an idiot. Anyways, rushing in here, the Panzer using the half-tech least to avenge the Flak Panzer and get the field gun out of my sight and perhaps into my arsenal. There we go. Wipes it out there. Panzer there by close eventually 2. Pilecki there, taking a hit. Very good by the way there. Pushing the Mama Max on the team with the Panzer Grenadier squad. Troops rushing from the north machine gun. Officer Pioneers. Half-track flying carrying fire there. 2 kills. There you go. Tank from the north. The officer and the Pioneers and the Osttruppen going for the maximum there. Machine providing further covering fire here. Center's been entirely forgotten by the way. Panzer there reinforcing thanks to the half. Should be more push here. And there you go. Diversion and inspiring aura here. Causing heavy damage to the treating on the advancing conscript using the Pioneer squad. Panther almost done. Pilecki's close to the medium arm. Nope, Pilecki's yet to use a doctor. And there you go. Bang grenade off. Conscript pushed back. He ended up being a rather long citizen engagement from the south that drew in a lot of forces there. And actually lasted several minutes before the last bits, but were finally over. Now it's committing fresh troops. But there you go. Got the field gun at least. And of course with Osttruppen everything I just reinforced it swiftly. Thanks to the half-track. Again, another advantage of the half-track. It can easily large reinforce stuff on the front line. But there you go, Panzerkampfwagen for the Panzergruppe von Strachwitz. An improvised armoured group in the Baltics composed of the 1st Panzer Brigade and the SS Brigade Gross, I believe, which was actually formed up of training and replacement units and such. Little fun fact there. Pioneers moving towards the centre. Panzer IV hanging back, adding the pin up machine to that one. Bringing the half-tech support as well. Back here, Panzer squad good to go. Should still lay down mines from the half-tech. In fact, I've kind of forgotten about that, but that's just me. Another field gun up from Pilecki to replace the one secured by the fascists. Continuing about here. Max on the eastern side, coming against any further pushes there, but now I'm ready to focus on the centre again. Close to veteran free there on the Flak Panther. Panther going to be conscripts dug in. They're going for the western victory point here. Hits a mine. We got Pilecki up force on the west side, trying to outmaneuver there. We go. Pilecki with his first tank. He's also gone for Guard Motor. Not trying to set up for the T-35. I think I go straight for the T-34 from 6. On one hand, I can understand it, but I think a T-35 here would probably be a bigger threat to me, to be honest, since the Panther IV just struggles with it a lot more. But that's that. Maximum on the eastern side. We got the Panzer squad moving eastwards there. After being rushed forwards westwards. Need to be careful not to get too close to the camp, get hit with an anti-tank grenade. Same time, Panzer squad in the south, they're being caught here, not getting troops out in time. There we go, hit by an anti-tank grenade. There we go, counter-attacking. There we go, Panzer squad getting eventually 2. Pilecki's T-34 from 6 is ready, and in the south here, moving in the Panzer IV to assist the Panzer down to 2 men. Half-tech needs to be hauled back, by the way. I could consider laying down a mine while I'm falling back, maybe. At least doing that. Fall back there. But there you go, T-34 rushing westwards here for Pilecki. Officer going for the curve point here, looking to disrupt again, throw off Pilecki. Now that I actually have the initiative and the opportunity, though, of course, the T-34 very much throws a little wrench in that idea. Counter in, I'm basically not been moving the half-tech back to my base as should have been. Thumbs down there to me, that's going to be costly. Costing an otherwise good 250 on a half-tech, which in the end I could have done more with overall. It's a very good tool, but it is one that requires you to be actually using it a lot there. Now going to the outpost right in the centre where a lot of conscripts bunched up. Always a nice idea there, since it really does a lot of damage, and really one of my best advice if you're struggling to the outpost, just remember to use incendiary piercing rounds to machine guns. After they've been engaged by the T-34 from 6, going to get knocked out. Panzerfall rushing in here though, for the glory of Deutschland. I can in fact soon go for another one. Another max on there for Pilecki and the Red Army. I want to consider calling some guardsmen soon. To add some more heavy infantry. Could also consider heavy mortar. Certainly a few options there for Pilecki. And we got another Panzerfall for me and the Panzergruppe von Strachwitz. Field gun holding up here. I'm machine on the flank there of the field gun. Back here, troops reinforcing. Panzerfall halfway done. Osttruppen popping to the building there. Bit of quiet here. We got the Max being rushed eastwards once more to threaten the southeastern points here. And there you go. We got the heavy mortar out here for Pilecki, the HM-38 120mm mortar squad. Which is a fun fact. The Axis force was pretty much just straight up copied because it turned out to be a pretty great design. I'm not just talking the Germans. I'm talking the Finnish, the Hungarians, and even the Romanians. But there you go. Second Panzerfall ready. Getting me 2 tanks here versus Pilecki. Pushing up the advance here, and there you go, another round of incendiary piercing rounds. And again, doing some heavy damage there to Pilecki's forces. They're finding up north here. Panzers off, they're just hosing down the conscripts there. 13 kills at east level. Panzers brought there, slowly approaching the east level, but not quite there. A mortar firing down around the centre. East side here, we got the Mac move for the victory point there. Panzers caught flanking, but the Panzer force then flanking the Maxim. West side here, T-34 counter blows. On my left side there, the infantry forced retreat without any anti-tank support since all the armors are the centre or east alongside the anti-tank gun. Max being slowly bled out by the Panther 4 in the centre, Panther being aged by the field gun, and now the T-34's on the hunt. And my field gun is also in a bad spot. I thought I'd order to retreat, but apparently I'd not, so it's going to get wiped and handed back to Pilecki. A definite mistake then blowed to me, as of course him having 2 field guns is really a problem for me to deal with. Hey, Mortar gets a great hit on the machine gun, almost takes it out. Panther 4 moving in, bit of a mistake there to be honest. And avoids an anti-tank grenade, much to my luck. Machine gun needs to get away. Bring up the other Panther 4 to support. By flanking in the T-34 shot bounces though. Other Panther moving in, direct hit from the field gun there. Need to be careful about finding around here. We got marked target on my Panzers. Moving for the western point here with an Osttruppen squad, more disposable. At this point in the fighting. Ground the eastern point here, Panther 4's in need repairs. I could do with more pioneers to effectuate those repairs. T-34 going for the Panther 4. Trying to get a kill there. Meanwhile, got Officer Panzer going for the centre here. Aggressive move there on me, to be honest. Got the T-34 since Pilecki pushed it too far. And there you go, field bombarding my troops. Hey, mortar around also lands dangerous close from seeing out 2 squads. And for me, that would have been a rather back-breaking moment, but fortunately I avoided that. Pilecki, meanwhile, is going for another T-34 from 6. Not a T-35, though I definitely think he has the resources for that now. So I think that's a bit of a mistake, though, Pilecki. I do think that is a bit of a mistake there. Meanwhile, my Osttruppen just continue gobbling up the west side. They're hitting a few mines. But again, they are Osttruppen. They don't count. Herr Oberleutnant, we keep losing Osttruppen. Yeah, you make that sound like a problem. But what? I've got bigger issues. I can't figure out the cost of it today. Anyways, fixing the Panther 4 here, troops reinforcing. Grab the eastern point with a Maxim. It's them getting some good leverage on. There we go, going for the car point, trying to slow down my fuel income. Not bad either. They got a counter with the officer, the Panzers, and of course the MG42 now ace level. First Panther 4 good to go, second one being repaired. Got fresh pioneers hard at work. Punching against the conscripts there. Got an Austin Flak Panther to deal with infantry and support weapons. And we got Pilecki, second T-34 from 6 ready. Officer in a bit of trouble. Still in the officer in trouble. Not the officer, he's safe, mostly. Lost the main route in the west. Heavy fire on the ND42 direct hit from the heavy mortar. Thumbs up there to Pilecki and the Red Army. Defensive rushing towards the centre. And these two we got the Panzers of the Maxim. Panzer's good to go. Pilecki's rushing eastwards. Maxim slowly being bled out there. And it goes strikes in the east. Getting my Panzer Force here possible target. Need to retreat the opposite by the way there. Maxim also routed. Field gun nearby. Flank Panzer setting up. Troop Pioneers good to go. Troops setting up there as well. Going straight here for the eastern victory point. Bit of mistake to be honest with Pilecki in some ways. We sure got the field guns nearby, but that cross I get enough close to the field gun in that small narrow arc that they can actually see them. Otherwise, what it does is actually extending the T-34-6 in a manner that allows me to get my Panzer Force behind this T-34-6, you can see there, and make it very difficult for it to get away. Like I seized upon this opportunity eagerly. He's calling in marked target here. Got field guns nearby, they're good, ramming it. At the same time, getting rushing down here with minesweepers, just in case there are more mines here. Firing around the center there, Panzer officer machine ring in there. Field gun being overwhelmed, and there you go. Flank Panzer on the flank here, going for the field gun there. Again, another reason why the Osttruppen is so handy. Now we got all troops being moved in, plus the other field gun. The troops time from the north taking hits from the mortar, though. A brutal engagement on melee breaks out here in the narrow, cramped quarters where I try to take advantage of the fact the field guns can't easily maneuver, making use of the turrets of all armor. At the same time, infantry pushing forward, so going for his heavy mortar as he's trying to frantically salvage the situation here. Already clear out one field gun. And there you got the heavy mortar looks going to get wiped out before it can retreat. Panzer the Osttruppen doing what they can at close range. Second field gun there being rushed now by the field gun and the Panzer for the Osttruppen hold back for repairs. Got the field gun here. And the more heavy mortar, the field's about to get knocked out as well there. So suddenly, Pilecki has lost heavy mortar, which have run off with, and his field guns, which are proceeded to destroy. Their Panzer will hold back for repairs. Another T-34, they're ready for Pilecki and the Red Army. Comes go straight for the MD42. And setting about destroying the second field gun. Leaving Pilecki now with just a T-34-6 and a bunch of conscripts to deal with all the armor. The main infantry is a bit depleted here after all heavy fighting, and my armor has certainly also seen better days. There it goes, going straight for the flag panther, which is isolated. In this case, bit of the failure to realise the possibility of sitting in a fresh tank here leaves my Osttruppen almost destroyed already. They might just now with the Panther 4 trying to save the day here, as the other two armoured weapons tanks are pretty much indisposed. Officer in support here. Using, by the way, here the inspiring rod to buff my Panther Force while giving them a higher rate of fire. You get more damage than the T-34 Pilecki tried to hold. We got marked target there on the Panther Force as well. T-34 misses, help here Panther Force being threatened. And with this, I think he forced me to dispatch the Panther 4 to save the Panther 4 there. Infantry charging through the centre here. Pilecki's lines once more give way. And now it's heavy mortars firing to my advantage. There you go. Panther 4 being rushed in to support the ailing and heavily damaged Panther 4. Pioneers also being rushed in here. Meanwhile, infantry being held up by a Maxim in the centre. Calling in artillery with the heavy officer, heavy artillery with the officer. Panther 4 summon another damage. Angle the Panther 4 and the machine gun here around to the north. Managed to save the day narrowly. Hey, mortar fire, rain down the machine gun, and not a single round really particularly lands well. Calling in more pioneers as well. Phew, that was absolutely brutal and intense. Another long engagement there. Seemingly most of the engagements effectively start off here and then sort of explode across half the map as they spiral out of control. Kinda amusing when you look at it like that. Anyways, T-34 being repaired here, just reinforcing healing. Osttruppen heading westwards. Hay mortar on the Maxim. Coming out here for Pilecki. And quick press of the MD42. Punch moving in there. Quick route here as Pilecki realised that situation is not going to be one here. Will he finally go for T-35? Will be more T-34 versus me. Meanwhile, of course, all of my tanks are in dire need of repairs. Grabbing points all over the place. I've actually called in the fresh Osttruppen squad simply for the purpose again of grabbing points. I'm not expecting to see like fight and engagement and win it at this point in the match. Direct hit on from the field gun. Almost takes out the option. There you go. Ace punch because they're going for the field gun. Hey, Mortar firing down this close, doing some damage but not killing, and then between the punch grenade squad there. Almost got the veteran 2 Panther 4. They're good to go. Pilecki does look like he might be in for a T for the 45 there finally. Hey, Mortar continues to rain out there from Hey Mortar. T-Fed forcing them westward to deal with the Osttruppen there by the western victory point. And Panther 4 there trying to locate the conscripts. There we go, T for the 45 there, finally for Pilecki. Fences and a outhouse is shattered here by the sheer weight of the T-34-76 as it rushes around there. Trying to smother any fascists with steel. Panther going for the comfortable eastern point here. Second one also good to go to catch the compound between 2 Panther 4s. Definitely not great there for Pilecki's Frontovics. Half the squad already gone. Hey, Mortar fighting to rain down over the centre. Now it's the Flak Panzer's time to be repaired here. Panzer squad number 2 moving about here to flank. T-45 they're fine, ready here for Pilecki and the Red Army. Bang grenade there on the church when they retreat into it. He did not. Panther 4 running the centre, got the field from the Panther 4. T-44 moved down to half health. Almost got the field here with a flanking Panzer grenade squad, by the way. Always remember, flanking is good. If done properly. And there you go, great hit on the conscripts. Almost taking out half the unit. Well, in fact, to take out half the unit. There you go, T-44 running here, but from there for my Panther 4. So I quickly decided to, in this case, fall back just in case. Going for a Stuke here. Marked vehicle as well here, further making this a dangerous engagement on Panther 4s. T-44 continues to pursue, at which point, with the Flak Panzer arriving, I decide to turn the tables here in Pilecki. Also with Osttruppen arriving. Flak Panzer going for deep flank up to deal with the field gun, which is my primary worry. And there you go. Both Panther 4s now going for a blitzkrieg, a double blitz. As the field up behind as well there. Looking to take out the T-45 there. Losing 1 Panther 4. Flak Panzer and the T-54 got barely anything up. The definite mistake on me should have more infantry up. There you go. T-54 and 6 main gun is out. T-55 that takes out the other Panther 4. Osttruppen finishes off the T-54 and 6. 9 kills. Can't get off now to tank grenades. Pilecki's forces at this point are battered, bruised, and bullied. Stuke arrives. And there you go. GG from Pilecki. A brutal fight here on Lost Glider with heavy casualties, a lot of action, a lot of maneuvering, and certainly highlighting again one reason like Osttruppen, but also I like Panthers, and again the opposite. Like the opposite was pretty good. I feel like I could have done better though. Definitely could have used the half tech better, and certainly there's some attacks here that could have been supported better with infantry, but for the most part I'd say they quitted well. I think Pilecki though probably should have gone for some T-45 sooner, maybe some heavy mortar sooner, maybe use smoke screens. There's certainly a lot there that could have been improved as well. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I've learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, but don't tell enemies. This is ImperialDane. Cheers and thank you for watching. See you all tomorrow for a nice episode. Bye.